Heathens and heretics. Fucking hell. Welcome to another In the Abyss video. I hope you've enjoyed the ones that have come already. We're doing another Unsung banger.
If you haven't seen them yet, go back and watch them and then come back here. And then we can talk. Fuck that. Let's stay here. Let's just do this.
Yeah, do this one first and then go back to the rest. So yeah, we're doing another Unsung banger this week because we fucking love an Unsung banger. But before we get to that, we must talk beer.
Yes, Radio City Beer Works. That's the podcast sponsor. So Radio City Beer Works is a brewery and bar in Chelmsford. If you're in the area, look them up, get down there and get yourself a drink. Great little space. In the Abyss have been putting on some live shows there as well. So there's plenty of heavy metal music and other stuff too. You know, all guitar based, all heavy, great stuff. But also, if you want to taste the beer, you can look them up on, what's the website address?
rcbw.shop.
There you go. And you can buy all these tasty beverages, and I can confirm they are damn tasty. So get yourself involved. But we're here to talk about another unsung banger.
I'm doing the bag this week as well. Right, what we got? It might seem relevant why I was holding a sword just now. So, don't undress it the way you did. Ooh.
Visigoth.
Oh, look at that. There's a shine on that.
There you go. See that?
Take it out of the bag.
Conqueror's Oath by Visigoth.
Steel!
Exactly. New wave of traditional heavy metal. Okay, so a scene for me which seems to be really building up momentum, like this whole kind of throwback to what heavy metal was doing back in the 80s. But I would say Visigoth are a band who were kind of leading the charge slightly. I don't think they get enough credit for sort of preceding this wave of traditional heavy metal. And not a band I knew much about at all until a little while ago. I was writing for a fanzine and I met the guys in Visigoth for an interview before a gig. That was downstairs at the Dome. Fantastic show, but I left that show with a copy of this album under my arm, and
he did pay for it.
Well, yeah, can we just say that now? I didn't steal it. But what an album! What an absolute banger! If you don't know it,
well, see, I wasn't all that familiar with this. I'm familiar with the band, but not really in a massive way. So when Bean suggested we do this one, I was like, all right, let's get involved. Let's give it a bit more of a listen. And I listened to it a couple of times and straight away I bought the vinyl because it is a fucking great album. And yes, it's very steel meets steel and all that. And some people might find that a bit cheesy and a bit naff.
No,
but it's fucking. This is what heavy metal is all about.
It's definitely part of it, isn't it? I think. Heavy metal has its tongue in its cheek like a lot of the time.
Very much
and so. I think when you as a metal fan, when you embrace that, or if you embrace that, you can have a lot of fun with it. And I think that's what this album does brilliantly. It's a fun album. It's got that, that Iron Maiden gallop to it, soaring vocals. The musicianship on here is incredible. So I think that deserves a shout out on its own. The caliber of, the songwriting, guitar playing, everyone involved really is playing at the top of their game. Loads of energy, loads to enjoy. Talented bunch, really.
Yeah, they've got a bit to offer, haven't they?
Yeah.
But I think even the name, it's a great name. Like the name Visigoth is where you get the word goth from. If I'm teaching you to suck eggs, I'm sorry, but the Germanic tribe, we now know the word goth, so that's where it all comes from. So there's thought gone into it. They're not a comedy band, are they? They clearly take this stuff deadly serious, but tongue firmly in cheek.
Yeah.
But great fucking songs. And the one thing I'm going to ask though, from your point of view, they kind of blur the lines between what is traditional heavy metal, and what is power metal.
Right. Okay.
They've got a finger in both pies. I think.
Well, yeah, they do. I mean, for me, like those two subgenres, I think they sleep next to each other in bed, really. I think, yeah, exactly. I mean, there's so much crossover there. What makes one thing, what makes the other the other? I'm not even sure.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly,
they both have that triumphant sound. I suppose the traditional heavy metal thing's a bit grittier. And there's plenty of that on there. You know, you've got, I suppose, a key ingredient. If you think about Iron Maiden, like Killer's era, that's where the grit comes from. In heavy metal or traditional heavy metal. The flip side of that, and the more power metal stuff, I guess, is just that soaring nature, that kind of triumph from, the thing that makes you want to pick up your sword or just like, no.
What, you mean this sword?
Yeah, this is, see, Joey T woke up one morning and that was just under his pillow after listening to this album. It was a miracle. It's a heavy metal miracle.
I think the biggest difference between the new wave of traditional heavy metal, so in the UK, bands like Tail Gunner and bands like Enforcer from Sweden, things like that, is power metal doesn't have a punk edge. Whereas new wave of traditional heavy metal, you still got, like you're talking about Killers, Maiden had that punk element in those days, and I think that comes through with a lot of this stuff. Is just a slightly harder edge.
Yeah.
And that's probably what separates it, because power metal gets a bad rap, and quite often it's deserved. But some of the time, it's not. So I think this does fall in the new wave of traditional heavy metal. I mean, bands, absolutely. Songs like Salt City, which I'm going to assume is about where they're from, because they're from Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
It's, just the line "Salt City Living," it just sounds like it could be fucking Uriah Heep or someone like that. That's proper old school heavy metal.
Yeah.
It's not all about swords and fighting and galloping across the hills and all that kind of stuff. So
that's a fair point.
So you saw them in the Moth Club, didn't you?
I did. I've seen them a couple of times actually. So the first time I saw them was at downstairs at the Dome, as I mentioned. But second time, it was brilliant. I was just at the pub one day and I was looking at my phone, like, kid you not, and they came up playing a gig over the road. I was like, hang on, they're playing tonight and they're playing there, which happened to be the Moth Club in Hackney, which is a great little bar, like a real, to me,
like a working men's club.
Basically. It's kind of Phoenix Nights frozen in time a little bit, but it has a lot of charm, right? And they put on some great nights there. We saw Off.
What a show that was.
It was about a year and a half ago now, wasn't it?
2 years ago.
So, they put some really great nights on. And anyway, so I just literally finished my pint, crossed the road, and went to see Visigoth at Moth Club. Shout out to Moth Club as well. Again, well worth looking them up on, just give them a Google and just buy into there's currently a campaign just to, there's some planning permission for businesses and flats that are going to affect the Moth Club. It looks like, without help, they could shut that place down and we won't have it anymore. So
typical gentrification bullshit.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. So there is a campaign at the moment to save them Moth Club, giving them some support so they can go up against this planning permission. But yeah, I saw them there, if for anyone that's ever been to the Moth Club, it really is, the kind of dangly,
sparkly
curtains and stuff like that. It is like a very old school club. So to see a band like Visigoth just doing their thing there was great. It's packed as well, absolutely packed, triumphant night. So yeah, very very cool. A lot of offshoots as well. The guy I mentioned, the guys are they are a very talented bunch of people. So there's an album that we really liked a couple of years ago was this Bloodstar record. What was it, 2023?
2023, yeah, first sighting.
So I think
one of my albums of the year, actually.
Yeah. So that was guitar player Jameson Palmer, who plays in Visigoth, also was part of Bloodstar, which is, if you like what we're recommending here, check out Bloodstar as well. There's a few little offshoots. Again, get on the Google, look at what these guys have done. It's all good stuff. They're really doing a good thing. And I don't hear people talking about Visigoth. So that's what we're trying to do. Just shine a spotlight on them here. Give them some time to shine. Get you guys listening to them. Please do. Conqueror's Oath, Visigoth.
A truly magnificent collection of fighting metal.
Yes, please.
Yeah. On that note, thanks for watching. Please leave comments down below. Tell us if you know this album or, any comments about similar bands, anything like that. And again, any other Unsung bangers you think we should give a shout out, because there's going to be fucking loads of them. So chuck it in the comments below. Give us a like, subscribe, all of that. Hope you've enjoyed it. See you next week. Stay heavy.